Good afternoon, Francesco. Thank you so much for being here.
Good afternoon, Andrea. Thanks for the invitation.
Thanks for being on Entrepreneur Talk Show. And for those that do not know who is Francesco, he's actually originally from Italy. And now he's already been here for 10 years in Malaysia, and he's more Malaysian than I do now.
That's true. That's true. No more than you do, but more than I was 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm from Italy, from a small town in south of Italy, in Sicily, actually. Yeah, I've been living here. It's been quite a good time over these 10 years. Very nice experience.
Francesco, maybe you want to share a little bit of what you do.
Sure, sure. So my name is Francesco. I'm the founder and CEO of Ezyspark. Ezyspark is a Southeast Asia first online marketplace for corporate training, and operates an innovative platform that connects independent trainers in the market with corporate clients that are looking for specific training needs. So we are among our investors, we have Sunway and we have Nexia Angels. And up to date, after these 3 years of operation, we have roughly 200 trainers on board and over 1,000 programs available for our clients. So essentially, as a person, that was my business portion. As a person, I'm a very enthusiastic person, very forward-looking. I always like to innovate and look at the technology side of things. I enjoy learning for myself, and that's why I want to also make sure that other people, do continuous learning for themselves. And I really enjoy challenges. So the bigger the challenge, the more the fun. And yeah, like you say, I've been here for quite some time now, and I enjoy Asian countries, Malaysia itself, and many others here. So yeah, that's all.
So why do you wake up one morning and decide on this business?
Okay, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
So that was more than 3 years back ago. So I was that time I was senior manager for UCSI Consulting. I was pioneering the Blue Ocean leadership framework for Malaysia with the team, and I really enjoyed the time with them, and I really learned a lot from my team and from my boss at the time. And during the period, we were actually doing consultancy and training for mostly on blue ocean strategy and innovation. But then that time, I remember there was sales training requests coming in, and my boss told me to look for it, and I was like, okay, I don't know anyone in sales. At the time, I didn't know you, Andrea. and
Now we know.
Yeah, right. So at the time I was like, okay, I don't know where to start. So I was starting to look around, to search for trainers in sales. And I have to say it wasn't that easy, because either I found a lot of, website and trainers saying that, everyone is the best, right? And I was like, okay, how do I know that you are very good, right? So I was like not really convinced of the quality and the one I was finding online. So I spent a little bit more time, and I asked peers and colleagues to recommend some trainers in sales. And then but in the meantime, the time was running out, and I had to deliver to my client but also to my boss. And I was like, okay, I have to choose somebody. So I went into selection of the few trainers that I found, and I finally select one. So at the moment, I realized that there was a problem of accessibility if you don't have a large network of people that although there are many trainers in the market, there are many less few quality trainers, right? So there is this problem of accessibility. There is a problem of transparency also, because as I was saying, I didn't really know who was good and who was not so good, right? And also in terms of price, was not a very good clarity on my side. And on top of that, I spent a lot of time and therefore money in the procurement side, right?
Yep.
And I was thinking, if I do that and I'm on the consulting training side, I want to see what's happening out there and what the client are doing. So I was interviewing and talking to several senior leaders and HR, and I realized they're facing the same issue. Like most of them, they were looking for trainers through word of mouth, so people that they know, or some of the training agency they are more familiar with. But for the one that don't really have that kind of network, was a little bit more difficult. So that's why the time I was thinking, like, I think I had the parallel. Essentially, I look at the parallel with what happened with the travel industry and what's happening with the learning industry, right? So in the travel industry, as you know, before Airbnb, Booking.com, and all the platforms, TripAdvisor, and so on and so forth, there was a similar issue. There was an issue of transparency because and also accessibility, right? You didn't know where to go. You want to go to Bangkok or somewhere else. You ask friends, hey, do you know any hotel there, right?
Yep.
This was, you know, and
Yeah,
then
those
you
were
go
the
online.
days.
And then you go online and then you find, oh, this hotel doesn't look good, the nice picture. Then when you reach the hotel, you say, what the hell is this? You know?
Shock.
Right. But is that the way it was because you were trusting what the website itself, so the business owner was putting up.
Yep.
But nowadays there is the trust is now gone through a series of commands, feedback, reviews, and testimonial of users. So I thought, and so that solved the accessibility problem because nowadays, for sure, you can find an hotel wherever you want, anytime you want, right?
Yep.
At any price point that you want. At the same time, also solve the problem of transparency, right? Because now you have reviews from the user itself. Actually, before you go to the hotel, you already know if there is a construction site there, if there are mosquitoes around, right? Everything you know. So I thought, why don't we do something similar for the learning industry? Because in the learning industry, it's actually a similar problem, right? In the training
Yep.
industry. And I
Yes.
don't think it's also only a Malaysian problem. It's a regional problem, maybe even more global, right? So that's why that time I decided I wanted to create a one-stop center marketplace that helps the good quality trainers
Mm-hmm.
to be recognized for it
Mm-hmm.
without the assistance of specific training providers, but they themselves as independent trainers, because in the market, as you know, there will be there are currently more than 3,500
Mm-hmm.
training providers,
Mm-hmm.
but there are many more trainers, right? Independent trainers. So why those trainers, especially the good quality one, cannot get in touch directly with clients? So that was my say, why not, And the second things that make me feel to start was also because I feel I was a little bit disappointed, or a bit like agitated when I feel clients that tell me, oh, we have this budget to finish. Please tell me, give me some training. I was like, what? I was thinking like, you should spend. I mean, of course, I was doing sales and I was helping them, but I was thinking like, you should be actually spending your money and your financial resources towards something that really help your company, to solve specific challenges of your team, move forward your company towards success, right? Not just because I had to finish the budget. So to me, that was like, no, man, this is not gonna work like this. We have to change it.
For someone who loves the personal growth space, when you hear that, you will blow your mind out.
Like, what is this? So that's why the idea of starting Ezyspark was not only to connect and not only to sell ready-made programs, but was also to capture the need of the customer, essentially the challenges that the specific team was having or is having at that point of time, and what they want to see as an outcome, and then able to transfer that to the trainers that really match the specific challenges, but also area of expertise, background, and so on and so forth, and give opportunities training to directly talk to the clients and quote them on specific customized training. So that was something that really brought me to start Ezyspark in 2017.
I wanted to ask you, what's your biggest challenge to actually be in business, being an Italian in Malaysia? However, I've got a more current question to ask you. How do you actually face with the pandemic now, and what are some of your learnings from there for your business?
Okay, I try to respond to both of them in a brief
Yeah.
manner because I think we will need a couple of days, but I'll try in a couple of minutes. So, regarding the first question, as a foreigner in Malaysia, what are my challenges? I have to say that I was lucky when I started that MDEC, started a special program for tech entrepreneur, which is called MTEP, Malaysian Tech Entrepreneur Program. And I was lucky because I could get a visa and stay in Malaysia legally, right? So that helped me to already sort out a very big topic and very big issue for me. But apart from that, of course, there are another 1,000 challenges, that every entrepreneur face, actually, not only foreigners. Of course, as a foreigner, you have not only business challenges, but you have your personal challenges. So the fact that you left your own country and you are in a new country, and once you start your own business, nobody pays for your leaves, nobody gives you leaves, right? So you want to go back to your own country and visit your family, you have to be able to do it while working. So there was one big change, because I was used, to go back, flight paid, holidays paid, and then okay, throw everything in the rubbish bin, forget it. Now you want to go back, you have to be able to do it while you're working, So, but I think that is something that I think is a small thing compared to all the rewards that you get of running your own business.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say foreigner in Malaysia, they might face few problems in terms of visa and other bureaucratic things, but I think there is no much different in terms of business with locals. Definitely, of course, the network, but that depends on the person. You can create your own network if you are being in the country and you know how to. Of course, it's different because you are born here. You have long-last friends. For us, it's something new, but I think it's a good challenge. I mean, I don't see that negatively. Regarding your second question, which is the MCO,
The pandemic.
MCO, okay, that was fantastic. So
really?
yeah, sarcastically, no, but yeah, actually, it was a good challenge in a way, because helped me to really put a stop, a pause. So essentially, what my product roadmap essentially was already before MCO is also the current one with some addition, but it's similar, meaning like the development of the new features or the new products that we want to launch for Ezyspark was there. The difference was that we accelerated it, because you want it or don't want it, that's the situation. So you have to immediately quick turn things around, make sure that you are still relevant, make sure that you can serve your customer and adding value to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first the first thing I did also was, since everyone was stopped, I thought, hey, wait a moment, we are a learning company, we have over 200 trainers on platform, why don't we collaborate with some of those trainers and give free learning to our clients. So we started a live webinar on a weekly basis on a Friday to share some of the tips and tricks and learning points from our trainers. So one was the acceleration of the innovation that's supposed to be there, but it was speed up to the max.
Mm-hmm.
And second was I think was the pause. So at a certain point, I think after week 3 or week 4, I don't remember anymore, of being locked down in the house. And
you never remember the dates after that.
That was crazy. I was like, thank God it's Saturday, I can go for my grocery, and take some air. But during that 3 or 4 weeks, after 3 or 4 weeks, I was like, hey, wait a moment, let's put everything on pause. I really need to think and zoom out. So my idea there was like, I need to zoom out and look at the bigger picture instead of being in the ground, because I was doing a lot of stuff. So I had to stop and look from, a different level, and then look at what we were doing, slow down, take my time, I took like 3-4 days, almost a week actually, to understand. I actually read a couple of books. I was like I was mentioning to you the other day, I was reading also this book called The Messy Middle, because I think it's about being in the middle of your journey of entrepreneurship in a complete mess. So the mess in this case was a mix of factors, included the pandemic, right? So that helped me to really think more strategically and zoom out, and then be able to restart and then execute again once MCO was lifted, essentially. So it was, I think it was a good moment for everyone. I mean, a bad moment, of course, for the consequences, but a good moment for us to think more strategically for many people to think more innovatively, and
Yep.
to move things forward, with a positive mindset.
Mhm. Do you have a favorite quote or tagline to move you forward every time that you feel a little bit jittery?
Yes, I actually, over the years, because I'm somebody that thinks a lot, I overthink. And so over these 3 years of journey, I learned a lot about myself, became more self-aware. And I think one of the things I learned to implement in my life is one of the quote of Nike, just do it, which, when I
Yes.
start to overthinking, it's like, okay, just do it. I cannot overthink anymore, You have no luxury of overthinking. You just do it and try and test it and see if it doesn't work, then you do something else. So that was one of the things that I think I've been like doing it. Yeah,
Just now you mentioned a little bit about the book Messy Middle, and could you just share the author, please?
sure. Let me see, because I'm not good with names, but okay, the author of Messy Middle is Scott Belsky. I Belsky. So this book is about essentially your middle journey as an entrepreneur, and how it gets messy, and how you get untangled essentially, or how also you have to be resilient, because as we know, it gets tough and tougher. Or like this cyclist says, it never gets easy. You get faster essentially, right? So everything move faster. So your situation always change in a different way. So I thought this was a great book for me to during the MCO to read, and I'm trying to. This one is still ongoing. I'm finalizing it, but over the MCO period, I also read a few other books. If you don't mind, I can just share them.
Yes, please.
Still related to entrepreneurship and startups. So one is called Bad Blood, of from John Carrey. I don't know how
Yes.
to pronounce it. I can share with you.
Yep.
So Bad Blood is about essentially a pharmaceutical startup in the U.S. in Silicon Valley. And it's a crazy story. So you can read it over the weekend because it's so entertaining that you won't stop reading. And it's about this lady, this startup founder, that bring the company to a 10 billion valuation. But as soon as, because she wants to get it done and she wants to get these things out of the way in a way that it works in the market, and they start creating lies after lies, and it's so fantastic. I said, is this real? At a certain point I was like,
Yep.
is it possible? Is it?
Yep.
So that's one of the book I think is quite entertaining to read, if you like startups. The second one, more
Entertaining. That's a very good word.
entertaining. Yeah, it's a easy book to read. And the second one would be on more on mindset, and if you like biography, I would say Shoe Dog, from Phil Knight, the CEO of Nike, the founder of Nike,
Yep.
sorry. So that is very motivational, and a lot of nuggets that I mean, mostly like motivational nuggets. And in terms of startup, instead, I would say one of the good book I read for Silicon Valley again was The Art Thing About the Art Things of Ben Horowitz.
Yep.
That if you really are into startup and tech startup, is a good book to read to
Yep.
know what are really people going through, especially when they're growing the company at certain levels. So
Yes.
there are
Yes.
a few of the books I've been reading recently, and I felt to share with you.
Thank you for being so generous to share your book list. That's been wonderful time that I have with you this afternoon. I wish that you'll be back here again to share with us more the next time.
Thanks for inviting. I think it was a very interesting sharing, and I hope I can do more in the future. And
Yep.
I'm sure I'm going to read, and sorry, I'm going to watch your other interview with the other
Thank you
guests
so
to learn
much.
more.
Thank
Thanks.
you so much. See you then. Bye bye.
Ciao, Andrea. See you.